Kafatos. How does diplomacy adopt flexibility in a rapidly changing world where changes cannot be anticipated?
Well, the fact that change can't be anticipated, of course, is one of the great challenges. And some of you will perhaps know the story, but there's a famous story, I don't know whether it's true or not, but there's a famous story about the great British Prime Minister Harold Macmillan. And a young officer comes to Macmillan one day and he says to Macmillan, "Mr. Prime Minister, what is it that you most fear?" "Events, my boy, events." And I think that's what this is about. And so what you're trying to do here is not try to deal with every single event you could think of, make a list of 100 things on a piece of paper, because it'll be the 101st thing that comes along. But it's to have the structure of a national security system in the United States of America that's smart enough and flexible enough to deal with the problems as they come along. And I'll give you a great example. The example right now to watch is the increasing use by our diplomacy of modern media technology. It's really interesting. You have to think back. The State Department, in particular, was way behind in the internet revolution. It wasn't until Colin Powell came to be Secretary of State that everybody got internet on their desk. Because up until then, people said, "Ooh, gosh, if everybody had internet on their desk, people would actually learn something, or they'd know something, they'd get some information." Powell said, "No, it's time for people to have internet on their desk, every one of them." And if you look today at what the department is doing, for example, to use Facebook, social networking sites, to recruit new Foreign Service officers, they find that if there's a Facebook site that recruits new Foreign Service officers, or it gets into conversation about the Foreign Service, 60% of the people who interact with that Facebook site from the State Department go on to take the Foreign Service exam. Think about the aftermath of the Iranian election. How did we learn about these things? Facebook, Twitter, cell phone cameras. In Colombia last year, the largest public demonstration ever organized in Colombia against the FARC was organized totally on Facebook. And so this interaction with new media is, I think, one of the places where I can't tell you what the event will be, but it's surely right that our diplomats are getting better and better and better at dealing with new media, because some event is going to come along that's going to require them to be proficient at it.